Rich nations back deal to tax multinationals, BBC News.
Here's a summary of the article.
The G7 group of advanced economies has reached a historic deal on taxing multinational companies, the UK's Chancellor of the Exchequer, Rishi Sunak says. Finance ministers meeting in London agreed to commit to the principle of a minimum corporate tax rate of 15%. Tech giants such as Amazon and Google could be among the companies affected. After years of discussion, G7 finance ministers have reached a historic agreement to reform the global tax system to make it fit for the global digital age, he said. Governments have long grappled with the challenge of taxing global companies operating across many countries. At the moment, companies can set up local branches in countries that have relatively low corporate tax rates and declare profits there. Firstly, the G7 want a global minimum tax rate so as to avoid a race to the bottom, where countries can undercut each other with low tax rates. Secondly, the rules will aim to make companies pay tax in the countries where they are selling their products or services, rather than wherever they end up declaring their profits.
This post received a score of 48,000, with an upvote ratio of 92%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
I wonder if this will stop the old shell game of various shell companies charging license fees on IP, royalties or overpriced raw inputs to other companies under the same umbrella, e.g. Starbucks UK having to pay exorbitant license fees to Starbucks Inc. and only source their coffee from Starbucks based in Switzerland? All leading to zero profit in the UK. Yet Starbucks bosses brag openly about how much profit their UK arm makes. To answer some of the points raised, prior to 2012 Starbucks paid a grand total of £8 million in tax on £3 billion of revenue, and then only due to the fact that SON deductions were ruled out. Source: how? Well, a combination of license fees, interest on debt and routing sales of ground coffee to ultimately book income in Switzerland via the Netherlands. Since 2012 there's been some changes, though allegations of usage of such devices continues. Guardian article, here, and Business Insider article, here. Also a Daily Mirror article, here. But be warned, have your ad blockers on. Edit 2. The amount of lead comments on other sub-threads to this one having edits commenting about doom saying, complaints and no constructive replies is both hilarious and sad.
I'm guessing they will just find new loopholes. The lawyers working for the companies are much better paid than the ones working for the government.
I'm a tax lawyer. We are not magicians. If the tax rates go up, big businesses and the rich will pay more. I had lots of clients asking what they can do about a possible capital gains increase. Answer is, not much. If there was something to do, we'd be doing it already. And to defend the IRAs, they are capable lawyers. Lots of very smart people working there. They just lack the manpower, both to fight in tax court and write new regulations to limit abuse.
And they also probably went to the same school anyway. Two lawyers on different paths. The 90 hours weeks the well-paid one works doesn't even necessarily give him an edge. There's only so much work you can do for a single client.
They're often the same person. Plenty of people took the go to T14 law school, work for big firm, pay off loans, take IRA's job path. I'd like to work there someday, even though it would mean a pay cut.
This is a great argument for public funding of education, especially for jobs that involve public service. Private sector lawyers are the legal equivalent of mercenaries, and a system that forces lawyers to work for the private sector and then punishes them financially if they leave for the public sector is a great way to ensure more people are always working on ways to get around the law than on using the law to benefit society.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.